blood on the horizon. Arinze's homecoming should have been a moment of triumph. Instead, it was a night of fire and blood. The distant hills glowed an eerie red, the unmistakable scent of burning wood and flesh carried on the wind. Igala was under attack. As he approached the village, the chaos unfolded before him like a nightmare. Raiders from rival factions had descended upon the village like a swarm of locusts, their shouts mingling with the crackling of flames. Homes were set ablaze, the flickering light casting grotesque shadows on the faces of the villagers, who ran in every direction, desperate to escape the onslaught. The screams of anguish filled the night, a haunting symphony of despair that pierced Arinze's heart. He could see the faces of ordinary villagers, mothers clutching their children, fathers trying to shield their families from the chaos. A woman stumbled past him, her clothes singed, her eyes wide with terror. "Help us," she cried, her voice breaking. Arinze felt a surge of anger and helplessness. He had trained for this moment, yet the reality of battle was far more brutal than he had imagined. Omari, though retired, fought with the ferocity of his youth, cutting down enemies with deadly precision. Arinze caught sight of his father, a whirlwind of strength and skill, his blade flashing in the firelight. But even as he fought valiantly, Arinze could see the toll it took on him. The weariness in his movements, the grim determination etched on his face. The weight of their shared history hung heavy in the air, a reminder of the sacrifices made by those who came before them. Arinze leaped into battle, his movements fluid, his strikes lethal. Swords clashed, arrows whistled, and the ground trembled beneath the chaos. He felt the adrenaline coursing through his veins, but it was quickly overshadowed by the horror unfolding around him. Each life lost was a wound on his soul, each scream a reminder of the fragility of their existence. In the thick of battle, he found Ezeji, the old griot, wounded and gasping for breath. The elder lay against the charred remains of a hut, his eyes clouded but still filled with wisdom. "Strength alone cannot mend what is already broken," the elder whispered, his voice barely audible above the din of chaos. Arinze knelt beside him, feeling the warmth of the griot's blood seeping into the earth. Ezeji's words struck deep, resonating with a truth that Arinze had yet to fully grasp. "Please, Ezeji, hold on," Arinze pleaded, but the elder's gaze was distant, as if he were already traversing the realms beyond. "You must remember, young warrior, the cycle of violence feeds on itself. To break it, you must seek the roots of the pain, not just the branches." With that, Ezeji's breath stilled, leaving Arinze with a profound sense of loss and a weighty burden of understanding. A blade sliced across Arinze's cheek, leaving a deep scar, a permanent reminder of the battle, of the lives lost. He staggered back, the pain sharp and immediate, but it paled in comparison to the anguish swelling within him. As the dust settled, Igala still stood, but at a great cost. The village was a smoldering ruin, and the cries of the wounded echoed in his ears. The Leopard clan demanded vengeance, their bloodlust ignited by the destruction. Arinze could see the fire in their eyes, the thirst for retribution that had fueled countless cycles of violence before. But as he surveyed the devastation, he felt a deep internal conflict brewing within him. "There has to be another way," he murmured, his voice barely a whisper against the backdrop of chaos. He watched as villagers banded together to tend to the wounded, their faces etched with grief and determination. They were not warriors, but they fought in their own way, sacrificing their safety to save others, offering comfort amidst the horror. Arinze felt a swell of pride for his people, but it was quickly overshadowed by the realization that this cycle of violence would only lead to more suffering. As he stood amidst the ruins of his home, the weight of Ezeji's final words pressed heavily on his heart. He understood that strength alone would not heal the wounds inflicted by the raid. It would take wisdom, compassion, and a willingness to confront the deeper issues that lay beneath the surface. The path ahead was fraught with uncertainty, but Arinze knew he could not follow the same path as those before him. The scar on his cheek throbbed, a constant reminder of the night's horrors and the choices he would have to make. He felt the eyes of his fellow villagers upon him, their hopes resting on his shoulders. In that moment, he resolved to seek a different way, a way that would honor the sacrifices of those lost, a way that would strive for peace amidst the bloodshed. As the sun began to rise over the horizon, casting a golden light on the remnants of Igala, Arinze knew that the true battle was just beginning. The fight for his village would not be won with swords and vengeance, but with understanding and unity. And he would be the one to lead them toward that future, no matter the cost.